Hey, Tim, going to see if I can answer your questions regarding the risk calculator app. Is there a market close button? There is not a single click market close, but what you can do. So first of all, let me just go in the settings here. So if you go into the settings, you can create all the settings that you want right here. Okay. So modify this however you want, and then click save. And when you save it, it's going to go into this. So name it whatever you want. So if you see here, I have one saved already called 3R target with 90% partial. Okay. So what that means is it's the 3R target. So I have my ratio set to 3 and then 90% partial. Now, let's say if you wanted to, and if you notice here, custom close is set to 10%. Okay. If you were in a trade and you just wanted to exit at market, just completely get out of it, all you have to do is go into settings, okay? While the trade is active, go into settings, and then you just on custom close, just make that 100, okay? So if I just add a 0 there and I click OK, if I had a trade in place right now and I did that, if I click that custom close, it would take off, it would close the position. So that's all you need to do. Just go into settings, just make that one modification, make that 100. And then again, you have to remember that, down here, let me open that up actually. Okay. So down here, okay, if I had a trade on right here, that trade would be listed right here. You have to click this to do the drop down, select the ticket number that would be shown down here, and then just click custom close, and that would take off 100%. So that's probably the easiest way to, if you want to exit everything on a market close, that would be the way to do that. So in terms of the trade history, that's all this down here. So to get to this, let me show you how I did that. If you go here, view, and then toolbox, that opens up this, and everything is right here that you need. So your trade history would be right here. Okay. So everything that all the trades that you've taken would be right there. The journal, this is this is more just the connection in terms of being connected to the account, but the trade history, that's what I think you were looking for, would be right here. Right. So back to the settings here, right? So when you go to settings, you want to make and see how that 100% is still sitting there, right? But if I go load, and here's the settings that I previously saved, notice I just went back to 10, click OK. So that will apply to this chart that I'm on right now. But what's interesting, so if let's say we add to this, we add AMD, okay? And here, if I go AMD and I want to chart window, right? So first of all, if you notice, it doesn't hold my default chart setting. So I have to go up into here, charts, and I have to say templates, load template, and here's my 10 EMA strategy that will load it. I also have to add the risk calculator back, okay, just to this chart. If I can get this to work. Oh, wait a minute, it's this one, sorry, right here. I have to add that. Now, if I were to close this, okay, if I were to completely close this and reopen it, as long as I don't close out these tabs down here, here's AMD, here's Tesla, right? If I add another one, if I add NVIDIA, I add the chart window. So here's NVIDIA. Again, it's kind of a pain, but I have to then load for each chart. You just have to load that setting again, right? So load the template right here, 10 EMA strategy, boom. Okay. Also need to add the calculator. And once I do, it's there. So if I were to close this and reopen it, okay, and I go back to here, I reopen it. Again, 8cap, Meta 5, it's the same. The desktop version, if you notice here, right? If you notice, this says 8cap. So I downloaded when I, but here's MetaTrader, right? So they're both the same. This just has the ACAP logo on it, but it's still the desktop version of MetaTrader 5. You can see it says MetaTrader 5 right here. But if I go back here, you can see that it's maintained my settings, right? So those are still, as long as you don't close these tabs, it's still there. Now, the one thing I do want to point out is like Tesla, right? Tesla has this preloaded setting for the risk calculator. AMD does not, because I just created a new chart, and NVIDIA doesn't. But if I go to AMD and I load my settings, now they're loaded. Go to NVIDIA. I load the settings. There we go. Okay, so, and this will, again, if I close this now, if I close this and reopen it, right, the settings are maintained. See this? Nothing's changed. So that's what you have to do. You have to create a template for your charts. You have to create a, in the risk calculator itself, you have to create a setting. You have to create this, and then you want to save it, right? So however you want this set up, and then you have to save it and name it something. And then each time you open a new chart, you have to then apply that. I just went back to your email just to check, and I think I answered all your questions. Hopefully I did. But if you have any additional questions, just let me know, and hopefully this video was helpful for you.